G'day folks, Glenn Twiddle here. I'm on the set of Real Estate Experts and I'm about to film a couple of more episodes of agents that are helping home sellers build wealth through property, buy for bottom dollar, sell for top dollar, all manner of things property in the real estate space. And this is one of the first times I've ever had a return guest. I'm talking about Mark Gavagna because he was a guest of mine, did a full episode not so long back. But I ran into him and I was hearing some success stories about what he's been doing about this one particular development. And the bugger has sold 2/3 of one of the most prestigious developments in Australia. And I thought, well, given that we caught up at the same conference, mate, I thought it'd remiss of me not to pick your brain about, mate, not many people have sold 2/3 of a prestigious development like that. So how the hell did that happen? And tell us about some of the highlights of those.
Yeah, it was. It's a wonderful development on the harbour front at Glebe, and there's 46 apartments. They're all different. There's no two apartments that are the same, and it's a wonderful location. And I got involved in the complex many years ago. A lot of agents were trying to sell in there, and they weren't getting the pricing. And I saw that it just needed a certain marketing technique.
Yep.
And we attracted a lot of qualified buyers and got some emotional attachment to it. And now it's one of the sort of talked about developments in Sydney, really.
Yeah, and I love that, because what you just said rings so true, that even for your home sellers out there in the suburbs, it's those principles that every home's different.
Yep.
And so many agents come in with a cookie cutter approach, a spray and pray approach. They'll throw some photos up on the internet and hope. And in this case, specialisation was the key that has led to 2/3 of those homes that have sold in there. Like, no, not even 2/3 of the homes that have sold in there. Is it 30? How many out of?
Yeah, 30. I just did my
30 out of how many?
46.
That's 2/3 not only of the ones that have sold, that's 2/3 of the units, period.
Yeah.
And you've sold them.
Yeah, I've missed.
That's most of them.
Look, I've missed. I think I've missed 3 out of the resales since it sold off plan.
Yeah, no, so
and
well
so
done.
I'm really at home with a lot of the people in the development, and I've added value to them, and
For sure.
I think they've respected the way that I've gone about business and helped to increase the tax-free profits in their pockets.
And let me ask you about Glebe, because I understand you're no stranger to Glebe. You're a bit of a, because I know your history from our last interview. Tell us about your history with Glebe and why it's such an important part of Australia to you.
Yeah, it is. It's been in my DNA since I was born. My grandfather, who came out here from Italy many, many years ago, he bought a parcel of land in Glebe about 70 years ago.
Wow.
And
you got to tease us. How much was a parcel of land in Glebe back in the day?
I have to ask my uncle, but it was something like $8,000 or something
Oh,
like that.
for how much space? Don't tease me.
It was big. It was 2,000 square metres or so.
Wow.
Yes.
See, look at that. He's killing us, isn't he?
But so he did that, and then we used to import Italian wine, and then we had bottle shop on the site. And it's really funny because as a youngster, I used to help out and work in the bottle shop when I left school. And the other day, someone stopped me in the street, and I was talking with someone, and they said, "Oh, you've sold their house for you." And I said, "No, actually, that lady, she was a Scarborough Chardonnay. I remember her from when I used to sell in the bottle shop." So I've had different linkings with the suburb through the family business, and obviously now through real estate. So there's a great mix of people in Glebe.
Well, give us a just so I can add some value to our viewers. Say someone was choosing to sell an apartment either in that development in particular or maybe in a similar niched development. How can we identify the person who's taken the time like you have in that development to find the tactics that sell those properties? Because there'd be 100 real estate agents would have loved each and every one of those listings and those sales that you made.
Yes.
So for any of our viewers who've got a unique apartment or a unique development or even a unique home, how do we find, what's the tell that we can find the Mark Gavagna of our area where maybe the choice isn't as obvious as you in that development? Is there any tells that you can give?
Well, I think the person has to understand the product, has to understand where you're going with it all. I think it's about grabbing as many qualified buyers as possible and getting a connection from those buyers. I think the days of just putting a sign up and escorting people through a property and taking their names down are long gone. And if you've got an agent like that, then you should be negotiating the cheapest commission possible. And like you said before, it's probably not worth even getting an agent. They may as well have a go at selling it themselves.
Yeah, save themselves the 10, 15
So
grand.
I think it's identifying really, the marketing's probably the key. If you win the marketing game, you get all the pool of buyers out there. With the tightening of the market at the moment in Sydney, you're wanting to get as many qualified buyers through the property, and if you can get some emotional connection with the property, then that's the way you're going to get the best price in any market, really.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for catching up again, man. Congrats on, for those owners, man, they should be thanking their lucky stars that they've found a way to choose one agent to become specialised in that space, and it's reflected in the prices you're getting, man. So congrats, bud, and
Thanks,
and pass on my best to Grandad or the old Glebe locals, mate. So well done on everything, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks
bud.
for having me, Glenn.
All right, no worries. And on that, another little mini episode of Real Estate Experts for Mark Gavagna. I'm Glenn Twiddle. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.